Welcome, I'm the Kaijin Okami here at Denver Comic Con 2017, and I'm here once again from last year with author Amalie Howard. Welcome, are you enjoying yourself still? I guess, again?
I am. Denver Comic Con is always awesome, and I think every year it just gets better and better.
Yeah, so I see that you have brought in that last year we talked about kind of just the basics of being an author and creating worlds, but now let's get a little bit into your stories themselves. What are they about for an audience that might not know?
Okay, so the books that I have with me today are my two recent books. The Almost Girl is a story about a girl super soldier who goes to a parallel universe, Earth, to try to find a mysterious boy who might be the key to both the universes. So if you're into sci-fi, universe jumping, string theory and quantum mechanics and YA, that's for you. Alpha Goddess, this came out in paperback last week. It's about a reincarnated Indian goddess who has to reconcile her past and present lives before hell is unleashed on Earth, and it's based on Hindu mythology, the Ramayana.
Nice. So is the whole story built around the Hindu mythology, or is it just pieces of it?
It is built around the story of Rama and Sita and their, sort of star-crossed love, but it's also built in the foundation of, just Hinduism. The Hindus believe like there's 14 worlds, so I combined the top 7 worlds and then made the bottom 7 worlds into 7 hells. And you sort of have to, how you conduct yourself in life, kind of determines where you end up. And then Hindus believe in karma and moksha. 7
hells, it sounds like a combination of taking Hindu mythology and Dante Alighieri's Inferno and combining them into one. Sounds really cool. And you said the other one deals with a multiverse?
So it's a parallel universe. I did a lot of research into the multiverse theory, and I wanted it to just be like, this parallel universe can exist within the same time as ours. I know there's different theories that, depending on the path you take, it sort of spawns another universe, and I did research into that, but I just wanted it to be 2 so that I can manage it better.
You don't want to have an infinite number of worlds where it can all get confusing?
No, way too confusing, and readers see through if you don't have the rules around that, managing it. I'm sure I could probably try it, but, for now it was just the 2.
Well, if you need new ideas for a later book, there you go. You can do another parallel Earth.
Right? I mean, that's fun. I wouldn't mind doing it because, I'm really looking forward to seeing Valerian, City of a Thousand Planets, because it looks so cool. I'd like to see how they, sort of visualize that.
Yeah, that one does look pretty interesting. I don't know if if you're familiar with the Marvel Cinematic Universe or Marvel Comics in general, but the way they've done a multiverse with different Earths is pretty interesting. Same with DC. And then there's a show Fringe that did it.
I used to love watching Fringe. It lost me towards the 3rd season, but yeah, we were really into that because it is cool. I mean, there's so much that we don't know, and especially about other worlds and other galaxies and all that stuff, and yeah.
Now, what would you say to kids that are looking to get into writing, but they're unsure if they want to because they're not sure if they can really have the vocabulary skills to make it work?
I would say if you want to tell a story, tell your story. I mean, and as far as vocabulary and skills, I wrote my first story when I was 9, and it was about a girl who had magical tattoos trying to kill her. Kind of weird. But I was also published when I was 12 for a poem that I wrote. So I would say, just if you have a story to tell, tell it. Don't let anybody tell you it's not good enough or you can't do it or you think you're not good enough. Just put it out there, whether that's, on paper or if you want to join Wattpad, which is, I think, really a great sort of community for young writers. You can try that out as well.
Yeah, the fact that I remember that last year when you mentioned that you were published at 12 still blows my mind. And it does show that you can be at that young age and still get published.
Yeah, absolutely. And, publishing, the landscape of it is changing dramatically. So opportunities that weren't around 10 years ago are around now. You can have someone give you a great cover, edit your work, and, indie publish. So it's not like you have to go through all of these different levels to get published by, a big publisher. If you want to just publish something yourself, you can. I would just caution, get a good cover designer and get a good editor.
That was actually my next question, if they should still go for an editor, though.
So there's two types of editors. The editor at a publishing house, you have to get via an agent who has to sell your work to them, and that's how you get your book edited by that editor who has bought your book. And then in freelancing, if you're indie publishing, you contract an editor to just, proofread your book, check for structural errors, make sure everything reads well. You definitely need one of those, I think, if you're doing indie publishing, just because it's like someone to, see things that you might not be able to see. Even if you think you're the best writer in the world, you are going to make mistakes. And then, of course, like a good cover designer.
Now, back to the goddess book. What inspired you to use Hindu mythology?
So, I grew up in Trinidad and Tobago, and my father's a Hindu priest. So I grew up with a lot of these stories as a child. And, way before the diversity movement sort of began, I started thinking about, wow, I really want to write a story that sort of incorporates some of these stories that I heard as a child. But I didn't know how to manage it. And by manage it, I mean, how do I make it accessible and relatable for Western readers? Now, at the time, if someone asked you what kind of mythology do you read, the answer was usually Greek, right? So I had to kind of be careful in my narrative that it wasn't like too, and I don't want to use the word foreign because, even at the time on submission, some of the publishers said it was too exotic. So, I knew that I had to kind of bridge two different hemispheres, basically. So, but I wanted to tell the story, so I did, and I persevered, and my agent persevered, and we sold it to Skyhorse in 2012. And it came out in 2014, and it was an Indie Next Pick, and it was Best of Voya magazine. So.
Nice. Now, where can my viewers find you on social media, and where can they buy your books?
So if you want to reach me via my website, it's just amaliehoward.com, and I'm on Twitter, Amalie Howard. I'm on Facebook, Amalie Howard Author. I am on Pinterest, Instagram, any of those, same name, not multiple names. And as far as buying, I'm on all online retailers and in bookstores.
So if they want to go to Amazon, they'd be able to get them?
Correct, yes.
Any final parting words for my viewers?
I just want to say thank you for having me. I'm really glad to talk to you guys again. It was fun last year, fun this year. To your viewers, for the ones who want to be writers, just write your story, tell your story, and tell it your way. And for your readers, continue to support great books and, have fun reading and writing, and yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time. Until next time, bye.